What makes Philippines unique or special?
Friendly people. It's like that in America too. You know?
Please tell us your name and where you're from.
Hello, my name's Aaron. I'm from the U.S.
And what brings you down here to the Philippines?
Well, that's a good question. Basically, I lived in America for about 30 years and decided I wanted to travel and do a YouTube channel basically in Asia. So a couple years ago, I made the decision
Yeah.
and headed east.
Headed east, okay. How many countries in Asia have you visited now?
Oh man, eight. I mean, eight countries. Yeah, now eight. Yeah.
And what makes Philippines unique or special?
The Philippines, man. So the Philippines is number one, English, right? That's obviously the number one thing. Tropical climate, nice weather, sunny days, friendly people, which I think honestly in Southeast Asia, a lot of them are friendly. It's just there's so much English spoken. There's more connection here than some of the other countries. And I would say definitely a lot of Western influence in the Philippines. You know, there's a lot of like movies, food, culture. There's a lot more crossover here than definitely some of the other countries.
Okay,
in Asia,
cool.
yeah.
Any dislikes? What can be better in the Philippines?
Man, well, things are kind of inefficient here. You know, that's for sure. Things they run differently than other parts of Asia. I'm not sure what it is, but so sometimes the day-to-day services just take longer. Maybe things aren't open as much, just less efficient, less fast.
Can you think of a day-to-day service that takes a bit longer? Can you give me an example, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, we just have pizza, you know? So, I mean, I don't know if we're waiting for it to get cooked or what, but I thought it was already pre-made. But yeah, just little things, just a different speed, different gears. I was in Taiwan Taiwan's not a good example, but I was in Thailand recently. They just had a different gear. They're just in higher gears there. It's quicker, it's more sense of urgency.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay, and what do you aim to get from the Philippines? Like, what are your goals this time around?
Well, man, this time, you know, like I've been doing the channel or whatever, and you know, I've just been kind of trying to grow the channel and just kind of get more of a footing. I've already spent a year in Asia, so this is kind of my second year. I'm trying to see if this concrete gonna stay here in Asia, or I might even go back to the States, which I don't really want to do, but...
Okay, so tell me a bit about that. Why don't you want to go back to the States? Do you think a lot of Americans are leaving? And if so, why are they leaving the States these days?
Well, I mean, it's tough, man. There's a lot of reasons. I mean, you know, the whole like Western mentality, right? Like there's the degradation of society, you know, there's all these kind of, what's the headline news, you know, like feminism, you know, all that kind of stuff, toxic masculinity that they always talk about, you know. So it's easy, you know, a lot of people are like, well, screw this, we'll go to a different culture, we'll go to a cheaper place, and we'll just go, you know, live a different lifestyle there. So it's easy nowadays, you know, with the internet, and you just hop on a plane and fly over to Asia, you know.
Yeah, I agree. In theory, it makes sense, right, to escape that kind of situation and to improve. But what is the reality of living in the Philippines or being here? Do you think it is easier to meet women, for example, that are more traditional? Is it cheaper? Tell me, does it meet your expectations?
Yeah, it definitely is easier to eat, or excuse me, definitely. Oh yeah, easier to eat, but it's definitely easier to meet women for sure. You know, they like foreigners here. You know, that's just what it is. They just, for whatever their reasons. I think it's not only just for, you know, just living in another country or whatever it is, but also looks wise. You know, I think it's just these Asian countries here, everyone looks the same. You know, I mean, they're like, it's homogenized. They have the same bloodlines. It's not much crossover like in America. Everyone's mixed. I got like 6 different bloods in me essentially. You know, so it's just when you're come as a foreigner, you're exotic. You know, you're just like, you just look different. So it's definitely easier in that sense. Women are more traditional here. You know, there's a lot more religious connection here, you know, with Catholics. So definitely, it's deep rooted in the culture here. Okay. So it definitely kind of breeds more of that old school, at least what they call it in America, kind of mentality.
Have you dated any women here?
Yeah, I've dated. I've dated.
Tell me a bit about that. What's like a typical date for you? Like, do you fine wine and dine these ladies, or are you like a coffee dad?
Yeah, yeah, it depends. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I've been called a coffee daddy before, but they, basically, yeah. I mean, it depends. Well, when I first come to the country with my bank savings, yeah. But then after like a few weeks, you're like, all right, I gotta keep this to a coffee date.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Generally, just meet at a coffee shop or something. I think it's kind of the easiest
Yeah.
way. Meet at a
Speaking
coffee
of
shop or even outside. Just go walk around or something.
True. Speaking of
Yeah.
coffees, money, and all that, how do you make money? Like you're in Asia now, you've been to 8 different countries. How do you support yourself? Because you don't seem like you have a pension or nothing. So
No. Yeah, I'm 32. That'd be sweet. But so basically just savings. That's kind of what I've been doing. It's just been savings. I make a little bit off of YouTube, not much,
Yeah.
and so, but that's kind of getting old right now. I kind of at a jumping off point, a crossroads where it's kind of like do or die in that kind of sense, where I need to figure something else out or just keep banging on the YouTube. But yeah, but a lot of people, I know there's a lot of online teaching. That's one avenue, and I mean, there's a million ways to make money online. But yeah, but right now, just basically savings. So.
have you seen a lot of other Americans in your travels that have been in Asia?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot all over, and it's tough to see sometimes because I think they are American. You never really know they can be European.
Yeah.
But I definitely hear a lot of American accents, and I think you can tell. There's subtle differences. Where like that guy looks like he's American, the way he dresses.
Have you had a crazy incident in Asia so far? Something that really stuck out? Holy shit moment.
Oh man, nothing really. Nothing. I kind of keep it low key. I usually don't stay out late or anything. I think that's a big part of it. So that kind of keeps me away from a lot of trouble. But man, I really haven't seen anything too crazy.
Nothing crazy,
Yeah.
huh?
Other than like cultural shocks, like when you go to like places like Vietnam, you see like 5 people on a scooter.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that, But I don't really. There's nothing really crazy.
Okay, so a lot of people, when they come to the Philippines, they also consider looking at Thailand. Have you been to
Yeah.
Thailand before?
Oh yeah, I've been 3 times actually now.
Okay,
Yeah,
we want to know
3 times,
some
yeah.
like things
And I
that
changed my mind about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is exciting now. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
know, what did you think initially when you went compared to what do you think lately when you went to Thailand?
So the first time I went, honestly, I didn't like it. So first time I went was 2019. I was living in California at that time, and I went straight from California with actually a Filipino girl that was living in America. She wanted to go there actually, so we went there, and I didn't really like it. So I didn't really like it. I enjoyed it. We was in Bangkok and went to Hua Hin, and I was there for about 10 days. But then, in my mind, I'm like, I don't really like Bangkok. I don't really like Thailand. But then, after having come to Asia and then being in Asia for a year, and then had gone back to Thailand, seeing like Vietnam, Philippines, and even Malaysia at that point, Indonesia too. Like having gone back there after then I appreciated it because of the efficiency there. Things were actually cheaper, and a lot of times, and definitely for the same quality, much cheaper at times.
Okay.
So it was shocking. I didn't understand why it would be the same quality or the same level and it'd be so much cheaper in Thailand. So I definitely appreciated it a lot more the second time I went back. And then I just went back again recently, and I think I even appreciate it a little bit more. It's developed there. There's a lot of money getting dumped into Thailand.
Yeah.
And I think just with all the weed that they legalized there, it's just who knows how much money that's brought in,
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Okay, so yeah, Thailand really focused on tourism, so they're probably a lot more, streamlined the services and stuff like that.
yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of. Yeah,
The
go
food's great too. Food very affordable. They have all kinds of levels, And honestly, I kind of stay away from the street food in the Philippines. So, and that goes with every country too. You got to be kind of pick and choose. But whereas Thailand is just a lot more of it. It's just different, man.
Have you lived in the province in the Philippines before, or just the cities mainly?
Just the cities. I've only spent maybe almost 2 weeks total in the province. Yeah, which is beautiful, which I highly recommend. Yeah.
That's interesting. What are the main differences aside from infrastructure, obviously, or buildings? Is there like a different lifestyle, culture in the province of the Philippines, or tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, the first word is just beautiful out there. It's just clean air. At least where I was in southern Cebu, the roads were nice. The roads were pretty good, and it just was relaxed. It was just really nice. It was a lot, and it's something you don't think about. You're like, okay, yeah, I know it's like the ocean out there, it's the beach out there, but until you go out there, you don't really appreciate it. You kind of get this contrast. I think, especially coming from the cities, it's like dirtier, a lot of pollution and stuff.
What about the age gap? I mean, you're fairly young, so you're probably dating people closer to your age. Do you think age gap relationships are more accepted here in Asia? Have you seen a lot of older guys with younger women, or?
Oh yeah.
I just want to. That was like a
Let me
very
see.
roundabout question of asking
Yeah.
you what do you think of the age gap
Yeah.
that's going on here.
Yeah, let me say this. Maybe this can be the headline. Men, if you're 50 years or older, Philippines is the place for you.
Got it. Okay, so
So,
it's culturally accepted over here.
yeah, yeah, and honestly, women want older men here a lot of times too. You know, there's just like I think a lot of countries. There's a lot of there's a lot of playboys here, basically like Filipino playboys. You know, and so girls they generally guys that are older they attach them to being more stable. You know, more loyal. You know, just they're older. They just want to relax, hang out.
Yep.
So, but I've noticed here especially, I do see a lot. I feel like I see a lot more wage or age gap, you know, with the age and the dating. It's Cebu specifically.
Do you think a lot of that has to do with like just financial incentives as well for the women, or it can't?
Oh, probably. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. And I think most guys, it just goes hand in hand, you know. I mean, it's like that in America too. You know,
I was gonna say it's just easier to accomplish those goals here in Asia for
Yep.
men, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Women, the number one thing they want is security. You know, and nowadays security is finances. You know, I mean, I'm sure 1,000 years ago, a dude that had a big farm and like 100 herd of cattle
Yeah.
would have been like, you know, a nice big garden would have been, you know, appealing or whatever. So, yeah, I think it's definitely a part of that, and I don't think it's anything wrong with it. You know.
Yeah, I'm trying to normalize that, to be honest. The fact
Yeah.
that, not normalize it, but just try to get different perspectives to show that it is essentially an exchange, right? And two adults can do whatever they want as long as it's consensual and
Yeah.
nobody's getting hurt. I was just curious about your thoughts. Any advice for someone that's never been here? I like to ask my guests this in case you have a typical advice for a man or a woman that's never been to the Philippines. What would you tell them?
Well, I would try to say cut as much time as you can out. I would say that for sure. If you're maybe thinking about going to a couple different countries, depends what you want to do. I'd argue maybe just try to lump that into one trip. Definitely go to outside the city if you can. Yeah, just hit the city, see that. But I would spend more time outside of the city, and definitely bring as much cash as you can. Like USD, it's easier in my opinion, it's just easier. You can just whenever you need to exchange money, you can just exchange it, and you don't have to worry about all the ATM stuff.
Now I know who to rob. Thank you.
I know. Yeah. And I don't mean bring thousands, you know, but like, you know, bring a couple grand or whatever. It's not
Yeah.
much, you know. You
I guess it depends how long you're staying for too, right?
Yeah.
If you're coming here for a year, then I personally want to recommend coming with 100K in your bag. But if you're coming for a
Oh,
vacation
yeah,
or
yeah.
like a couple of weeks or a month even, I agree. Okay. Any regrets about coming out here to Asia? Do you regret anything?
No, you know, the one regret I do have is I would have saved up more money in the past. I think the first time I just would have maybe pushed it back another 6 months, maybe even a year, to be honest. Depends on the situation, but definitely because you know, especially when people are eager to get out here, that few months just seems like forever.
It does, right?
You know, and it's really nothing. So just save up as much money as you can. Maybe if you're gonna have if you're still gonna need money, have some kind of work set up where you can teach online or some kind of online thing where you can have some kind of supplement coming in. You know, it'll really you'll thank yourself big time later.
Okay. And you mentioned YouTube a couple times, and I know because I know you personally and I've spoken to you before. What's the YouTube channel? Remind us, and what kind of videos do you make?
So Aaron Around. So my YouTube channel is Aaron Around, and right now it's just travel content. Kind of trying to get in a pivot right now because, like we were talking about earlier, it's just the travel content's it's tough right now. It's there's a big ocean of it. So basically, it's going to be more. I'm going to have to decide which country I'm going to stay settled in, and it's just going to be more localized in that country, and it'll pretty much be with like living and just eating, kind of be that realm of stuff. Just kind of basically being an expat living in overseas.
Got it. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you.
Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of Aaron's experiences and thoughts within the Philippines. I asked about some other countries because I know his answers would relate to many of the places down here in Southeast Asia. And go over to Aaron Around, check out his channel. Aaron is a really down-to-earth guy. I know him personally, and he makes some great content. He's not very old or very young, so hopefully his videos provide a little bit of insight, a bit different than most other channels about the Philippines. And you can check out a series on Korea, Vietnam, and all the other places he went to. And for me personally, I think many men are coming to Southeast Asia for many reasons. One of them being relationships. They want a better relationship in Southeast Asia with different type of women. The second would be cost of living. It's still a lot more affordable within Asia. Asia, that's a new one. Asia, especially if you're working online for yourself, you can earn. What's going on with my speaking today? Like every day, you can earn those USD, Canadian dollars, pounds, euros, whatever, and spend within the local currency. You get a little bit out of it. Also, you're helping the local economy. So it's kind of like a win-win situation. Plus, you get a whole bunch of adventure. Leave your thoughts down below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.